Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to IRL Summer Season, Round 2 in China. I am joined in the comms with Felix. Felix, you want to introduce yourself, mate?
Yeah, F1 IRL F1 driver, P3 in the championship last season, P1 in the championship 2017. Hello and welcome everyone.
Well, unfortunately we won't be on the IRL channel today, but hopefully that'll be changed for next week. I'll be doing comms for the summer season. Felix can join me whenever he needs to, or anytime he wants, really. We're just waiting for the players to ready up because we should be going. It is 4:30. I will have to just share the chat.
Someone just joined.
Yeah, Lewis probably. Why is Lewis in the Renault?
That can't be any good.
No, he shouldn't be in that. He's meant to be in the Williams, he was told.
But Williams is full.
Oh, is it?
And JR and the Williams.
Or then Haas then or something, I don't know. Sandra has the DLs. I did send you that.
Every car's full except from Red Bull and Mercedes.
No, but then it looks like he's going to be in Renault. Wait there while I just send the stream to chat.
Oh yeah. Can do that real quick.
Done it. Right. And it looks like we're going to get ready now. As we'll go through the drivers. If you want to go down the first set of drivers, mate. Like Ferrari, Merc and that.
If I can see the drivers in a sec, I can do that. Just need to wait until everyone readied up.
Yeah.
Just waiting on a few people to select the tire choices.
Yep.
And then we are good to go for China.
Round 2. Unfortunately, I won't be racing anymore, which is a shame, but I'd have loved to do comms. So, just wait for the lobby to load and everyone choose their tyres, and then Felix will go down the grid.
Sunday.
Yep. We've got one view already, that's good.
Alright. Oh, here we go.
Right.
Yeah, in the Ferrari we have Luke Baker and White Lord Billy, who will be Billy Mossum for today. He is replacing Callum Anderson for this weekend in the Ferrari. Then as we head to the Mercedes, where I can't find the Mercedes right now. Where's the Mercedes?
I don't think there is a Mercedes drive today, mate.
Oh yeah. Thought there was a Mercedes, sorry. Then we'll head on to Red Bull, where we have Nexus Aspect, who
That's
would
Kevin
be
Harrison.
Kevin Harrison.
Yep.
And that's it with the Red Bulls tonight. But then we'll go on to the Renaults, which would be normally Jared, but obviously he is commentating along. So we have Lewis Marshall in the Red Bull, and together in the Renault, sorry, together with
Joe Hollis.
who's that?
Yeah, Joe Hollis.
Oh,
yeah.
right. If you wanna go on.
Yeah, sure. Then in the Haas we have Nick, who I think is just for today's race because Nina couldn't turn up, who's usually in the Haas. And then we've got Louis Quinlan in the Haas team. In the Racing Point team we have Alexandra Bastos, I believe. Yep, and Marcel Holler was in the Renault last week, but he was only reserve, so now he's got a full seat into Racing Point, so congratulations to that. In the McLaren, the almighty Sondre Sauerhaug, or Bottlehaug as I call him, with a threatening teammate, Lee Kelly, who we are on board with right now. I believe a Renault is going to be first, who will be on the qualifying lap. Now the Toro Rosso, very matched pair, Brandon Glover and Toxic Tomato as Cameron Young, one of the new drivers who joined IRL. And in the Alfa Romeo racing team we have can't say his last name, so I'll just call him Can for now. and the name I always get wrong is Siktu. If I've got that wrong, I do apologise. I just can't, yeah, Sauber. I'll just call you Sauber. And in Williams Racing, we have Jay Jobridge and Samuel Nazar. So that's going to be a very interesting pairing. As I believe it was Lewis. Where is he at? Lewis Marshall on his first lap. I believe Lewis is going to do well today. And before we continue with the driver, who do you think the qualifying prediction's going to be, like top 4?
I'd say Lewis will take pole because he is a very quick driver and he's in the Renault, so I think he will have a very good shot at pole position. Then in P2 I could imagine it being Jay, and I think third could be Lee ahead of Brandon. I'd say that's my top 4.
Well, I think my top 4 is going to be actually Lee in first, Sam, Peter, the guy in Williams second, and Jay third. I think they've got some pace. I believe it's actually raining right now, actually. And
oh yeah, it is.
Oh, actually, hang on, we got something wrong here. The Ferraris are Luke Red and Billy. Sorry, Callum isn't in. Other than that,
Yeah,
I think then Lewis will take 4th. Oh, did you? Sorry, I apologise. Lewis will be 4th, I believe. I don't think he's going to get first. It's been
I'm
struggling recently.
Struggling with my sound right now because I don't have any engine sounds right now.
Pause it and then unpause it, mate. It'll fix it.
Yeah, try.
As currently Toxic tomorrow. Oh, tears Leroy straight on the power. 134.6 on those soft tyres.
And I think that will be very important because, as you already said, it's starting to rain, and obviously the rain is going to decrease the grip.
True.
And the guys who set their lap times first obviously have the best track possible, as Marcel goes P2 right now. I saw Lewis making a mistake on his flying lap.
So, yeah.
If he cannot deliver now on this lap, he will have a problem because, like I said, the rain really affects the grip levels, especially in that second sector on China with those long swooping corners. And Lewis goes off for the second time, and his lap is ruined again.
As here comes Bottle
I think
Hawk.
that could be it. On
the final corner, about to finish his lap. Sorry to interrupt you there, Felix, but it's the Bottle.
No worries.
See what time he does. A 1:35.5 puts him into 5th place. Well, my prediction's right. Oh no, too late. My prediction has just been destroyed by Jay. Look like in a Williams.
6,000ths of a second.
In a Williams.
Like Hamilton and Bottas yesterday, 6,000ths in between them. Very impressive by Jay. Gotta say that.
Well, right now the only people who haven't set laps is Kevin, Luke Baker, Louis Quinlan, Joe Hollis,
just
and Brandon.
retire.
Oh, Luke Baker has retired, so that isn't good. As now Brandon has rejoined the session. Hopefully he can get back into his car. As Louis Quinlan, we'll go on board with Louis Quinlan because I believe he's about to finish his lap on softs. And there's damage. I think Luke Baker's lost it on the straight.
I think that was Luke. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's something going on there.
Maybe under braking.
Yeah, just lost control. As here comes Louis
Quinlan.
Puts him in a P11, 136.5 on those softs, so I think it is now basically. I think the rain's getting a bit harder.
Just proves the point because Louis usually is not that slow. Yeah, I think we basically already have our grid lineup for the race. After just a few minutes, could imagine many drivers retiring now, except only if the conditions don't get any better.
3. It's currently Joe Hollis. We haven't got the bet. Oh, wrong button. As there we go. As Lewis Marshall is now commenting in the chat. Lewis, remember, don't comment in the chat when people are doing their laps, mate. It's distracting. Sorry about that black screen there. I cannot remove it since I switched my user on my account. I didn't log out. So if I try and sort it out, it'll disconnect the stream. So here comes Joe Hollis. As Toxic as Cameron Young is retired from the session.
I think he just saw no use in going out again.
As Joe Hollis did a 137.4.
sense.
The big shocker
goes out on another lap.
That's actually surprising. But the big shock of all is actually Lewis Marshall, a 139.8 with his mistake he's made. So he's going to have a lot of battling to do at the start because he is fast. Joe Hollis, his teammate, has only just got ahead of him. So
the thing is, I think it's going to be very difficult to overtake Jay in the race if it stays dry.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Williams has the Mercedes engine. Up until this day, at least, the Mercedes engine is still the best one in this game. So and Lee, with his Renault engine, won't have that many chances to get past him. And if Jay could just hold him behind in the middle sector, that could actually prove very difficult to overtake him.
I agree with you on that. And Bottlehaug has gone into the stream chat and said it's way too wet, so it is now officially Inters. And Cameron, you've spoiled it. But I know what's going to be like in the race now, mate. So I won't spoil it for you. So don't check the stream chat or anything. But there's a big surprise in the race apparently. So that's all I can give you. As Lee is still going to continue on his lap, even though it looks way too wet right now. And he's on his lap. I believe it's him and Jaws. Alexander Bastos has retired. I believe he was in the pits. So he's called it a day for the qualifying run.
Yeah, everyone goes into the pits now. I don't think it has any use really setting a lap now.
Oh, look at that. Lee's gone off. Lee is struggling for grip. As we've just got some Insight Team Radio information from Luke Baker. He's basically said that he had to avoid someone on the straight, so someone must have gone slow and he lost control of the car and crashed. That is very unfortunate for him. I know he's got the pace to do well here actually. He's in the Ferrari, of course. Straight line's quite good on that, and the aero package in the wet conditions is quite good, so it's unfortunate. And look at Lee, he's lost it on the fast left-hander and he's in the gravel. He may as well just go into the pit and retire the car. I don't believe it's going to dry up.
Yeah.
He's the only person who's out on track, so... Brandon's out, actually. I don't know why he's out, but he's out. On a set of softs. In the centre helmet he's in, but he's struggling for grip. Oh, look at that, he's lost the rear! Oh, it's unfortunate. He's gone off-roading. And he's doing donuts.
If you would have been on board with him, I was on board for that corner. You could see that he braked at the usual braking point, but you saw just how late he shifted down because he was scared to shift down and lose the back end immediately. That's why he left it right before the apex of the corner. DRS disabled, by the way.
So it is now in
again, and he's hit the wall.
If I was Bran, I would come in for set inters. I know it won't be the fastest time, but he still could beat Lewis Marshall's time, 1:39.8, with those inters. It's only a few seconds slower, I believe. So, but you never know. Brandon's can always pull some out of the bag. I believe that's Lee spinning actually.
Don't think it has any use.
Yeah, Lee's. I don't think.
On slicks right now.
As Lewis Marshall is now getting a bit aggressive in chat.
Oh, look at Lee.
Oh, is he struggling for grip?
Yeah,
yeah, that car's... The McLaren is basically a boat right now. As Lee comes into the pits. Oh, and he's done it. Lewis Hamilton almost crashed into the barrier. Well, Lewis didn't crash, he got stuck in the gravel, but there's no gravel there anymore, so... Well, the only person who's on track, there's actually a few people on track. Sauber is on intermediates right now. So is Lewis Marshall. He's in the pits getting ready for intermediates, and Joe Hollis is on softs. Lewis Marshall's gone back to soft tyres actually.
Brent comes across the line to set his lap.
2 minutes 12.7.
38-second gap to to Jay in first. I think he just did that just to have a lap time in the end.
Yeah.
Yellow flags at sector 2. That might be Sauber.
I'm just going to have to pause it for me because I think there's something wrong with my sound settings right now actually. Yeah, there we go. It's fixed now. It was a bit quiet. As Sauber looks quite comfy on those inters. They won't be the fastest tyre, so I don't believe he will do a better lap. If he can set a better lap, it'll be astonishing.
Like I said, I think we already pretty much have our grid lineup for tomorrow.
Yeah, well,
for the race.
after this session, yeah. So, as he is going on, like maybe he's practicing for something.
Yeah,
he could be doing a race
training
trim
for the race, but I kind of doubt it because nobody's out on track except from him.
Oh, there's
So
yellows in
it's just
sector
a
3.
very
Is that
unique
a person on? It might be Bran. Oh, it could have been Joe Hollis actually.
Yeah, I think it was Joe Hollis, who actually tries to go for a lap on slick tyres in these conditions.
Yeah,
That's very brave.
do you want me to go over spectate? 'Cause I just need to put something in chat. So if you want to go on somebody.
Let's just stay on Sauber.
Okay, Sauber it is, right.
With Sauber coming around here with his inters, even he is struggling on those tyres. Oh yeah, again misses the apex. Those are very tricky conditions at the moment. He plays around with his fuel and ERS mappings as well. Right now in mode 2 of ERS. And that's a very tricky acceleration zone for him now. The snail corner here onto the long back straight is very difficult in the rain because you can't get on the power that early, otherwise you will lose the back end. But you can't wait for too long, otherwise you'll be too slow at the end of the straight. So very tricky indeed. Goes down to first gear now in the hairpin. The acceleration is very tricky now in these conditions. Oh, good line through the last corner, but he definitely won't beat his time.
He did a 1:49.7, so it's actually, well, Brand's actually definitely not going to improve on his lap time. Then, well, he could.
Joe Hollis spun.
Oh, Joe Hollis has spun it.
But he is still
he's weaving on the straight. Hopefully, he doesn't affect anybody behind him.
Yeah, there comes a. It's under Sohog, I think.
Yeah, Ballhaug is on a set of inters currently right now.
Yeah, but he is on an outlap so far.
I have a weird feeling that it's actually going to rain in the race, because why would they keep going on a set of inters?
That's actually true. We might have a wet race upon our hands. But let's see. Sondre Sohog comes around the final corner to start his lap, goes a bit wide. But within the limits of being quick. Now,
yellow flags in sector 2.
They're gone now. Sondre shifts down to second. Then down to first even. That will make the acceleration really tricky. But he manages it quite well. I can't judge it too good because, like I said, I don't have any engine sounds. Try to fix it.
That's weird. Though. I don't understand why you've got no sound. So I will try. At least it's not like that for the stream. But yeah, just out of curiosity, mate. Would you like to know what the weather is in the race? Because I've been told now by 2 people. So
yeah,
if you
that
do,
would be quite good.
the race is going to be wet. So our observations are right. These guys are doing race trims right now.
That is going to make it very interesting because obviously now the strategy won't
Sondre's
play
gone
as
deep
much
there.
of a factor.
True. Surprised Sondre hasn't gone for the Norwegian helmet design. He's just made a helmet up for himself. Looks a nice helmet actually. But I thought he'd have his Norwegian on. That's currently
quite good actually.
Yeah, Jay still has the fastest time on softs. Lee's now finally retired. It's called it a day for the qualifying run. But Jay is still the one to beat, and I don't think anyone is going to beat it, even on these tricky conditions. We're 134.6, so the lead is actually quite close yet again. This was like this in Bahrain between Billy Mossam and Nino Romanello. By 1,000th of a second their gap was. So, and it was also like that with Sondre and somebody else, I think, in third. I think it was Can in third. So
I think Sondre might have put in a lot of fuel now to just make a race simulation stint.
yeah, but he's doing a good job. He's
So
surprised
he'll
me.
get
Not
used
bottling.
to it.
You know, like I got called Foz bottle the other day. You know, it's time to pay back the favour, bottle hog. You know. But other than that,
Sondre, but gotta say his lines are not too clean in the rain. Doesn't it many apex? This one was quite nice though.
he's just feathering, like not even touching the throttle that much. Oh, he's gone deep. He could spin the car. Actually keeps it under control actually quite well. Exceeded a bit of the track limits there. Nice and tidy through this section. But this is the only advantage for the Ferraris.
Oh, brakes way too late again.
And Mercedes on the main straight, because they've got a faster engine. So Honda on the main straight are going to be shocking. So I believe Kevin, Toxic and Bran are going to be in real trouble on the straights, because now Sondre is in the Renault. It's got a bit more oomph compared to the Honda. So I don't know. I don't think the guys in the Honda cars are going to get any points. I don't believe. I feel like everybody else may beat him in the straights, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. So while I wait to quality to end, what do you think the race prediction is going to be then? Like the top 3 for the race prediction?
I think Jay is gonna maintain the lead. I think Lee is gonna take second. I think Marcel will probably not finish as high up as he is now. Don't know. I think maybe Can will take third place, and yeah, for the rest it's gonna be interesting. Maybe even Saber, because he has his Ferrari engine in the back, and usually he's quite consistent.
Well, I think Jay's going to win. He's improved a lot over the F1 2018 game, and on this game he's been flying right now, as there's been contact between a Renault and a McLaren, between Sondre and I believe Joe Hollis. And then I think second is going to be actually Sondre. I think Sondre's going to do second actually, and I'm also going to agree with you. Sauber in third, I believe.
Oh, and wonder, oh wonder, I got my sound back.
It might be just I've had this glitch where it's done the XP and it's just repeated it constantly. So then there we go. So your top 10 is Jay, Jets in first, Lee in second, Marcel is in third place, so that's top 3. Can in fourth, Cameron Young in fifth. If you want to do the rest, Matt.
Yeah, Sondre Sohog in sixth, Bastos in seventh then. In 8th, Cybersec 2. Like we both said, P4 our prediction, so he has a lot of ground to make up. Kevin Harrison in P9, and Nick will finish Nicolas Giraud will finish the top 10 for the race. And like we heard, it's going to be a wet race, and especially the start is going to be very interesting, because especially the guys who are running no traction control are going to be struggling quite a lot on the getaway. So hopefully we will see a clean first lap, but I don't think we will, to be honest.
Well, yeah, the no traction is a problem at the start. You need to get around about 12,000 RPM for a good start in dries, but I don't know about the wets. But I've tried I'm on no TC now from medium. And no TC in the wet and inters is quite easy. I don't know if that's because there's no ballast now or anything. But no, it is China. I wasn't doing well at China, so I wouldn't have been up top with the rest of the lads today. So I'm actually quite happy I'm doing comms. So yeah, we'll see how everyone goes as the formation lap should be on. Yep, formation lap is underway. No one's had problems at the start. So everyone's... Well,
gotta say, I had a race lately in the inter conditions in FTRL, I think it was, in China, and it was actually very obvious that the no traction control runners were very, very quick as always in the acceleration zones. Out of the corners, they were pulling away from the cars behind, but especially the guys without ABS were really struggling in the braking zones, because obviously you lock up a lot easier in the rain. You can't really trail brake all too much like you can do in the dry, and that's gonna make it really difficult for the no ABS runners.
Well, I also think the people with ABS are going to struggle as well, because I've noticed Codemasters have nerfed ABS a bit, so the braking zones are still not being fully updated yet, so there may be a few people with ABS running off the track. But there's a question I've been wanting to ask. What do you think Billy Mossum is going to finish today, since he's in the Ferrari and his teammate as well? Do you see them coming up near the top 5 of the grid today, or...?
I think if they get a clean start, if they don't get into trouble on the first few laps, I think they could manage to get inside the top 10, but I don't think they have too big of a chance of getting inside the top 5. So if they get a clean start, I think it could be top 10 for both of them.
Well, and that's Felix's input on Billy and Luke. I think they'll do quite well actually in the Ferrari on the straights, definitely. I believe they'll get 7th and 8th to work as a team. I've raced against both. They're pretty quick when they want to be. So in F2, they were very fun to race with. As now Jay is now slowing the whole pack down, getting ready to start this China race. As there's actually a few people being disqualified. Actually, I have just noticed. I think that's a Red Bull. Yes, it is Kevin Harrison, and I believe a McLaren, and I believe that is Sondre Sauerhaug. So he will not be happy with that. So Sondre may get a bad start as we're going to get ready for the lights. Let's wait for everyone to line up. Everyone's still taking the time to line up. Billy and Luke played it quite tactical actually. I believe that was Joe Hollister who made the train there.
So we're getting ready for the start of round 2 of this IRL summer season.
I've got a
Jay
good view
on
camera.
pole.
I mean Lee. As the formation lap is ready. As Lee's in P2. Will Lee get in the start? Lights are out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lights are out and underway.
And away we go.
Here we go. Lee looks like he's had a decent start, but so is JJ. Has pulled away now into the lead. As Lee is now falling in. Oh, there's contact at the back!
There's someone spun.
And that is Sam. Oh, that is unfortunate for him.
Keep a look. Oh, Lee attacks Jay into turn 2.
Oh, there's a Ferrari running off wide.
The outside now. No backs out of the move.
Sondre has lost the position.
Himself against Khan. And now maybe Lee with a good exit. He could attack Jay for P1.
Oh, Lewis Marshall's left the session. That isn't good because I think Gosson is off. Hopefully he can join back. There's contact. Kevin Harrison. Oh, there's been huge contact.
There's been a Haas coming across the track.
Oh, Sondre is really unlucky. That should be a safety car at least. That is a big crash, biggest crash I've seen. As there's still more contact between Nick and the Toro Rosso driver of Brandon. So unfortunate there. And Luke, I believe Luke Baker's got a lot of damage actually.
Bastos ran into the back of Khan, and that's... Oh my goodness, there is
Khan
just
lets him back through.
Carnage on this first lap. It's so unfortunate for Lee. He just was in P2, settling down, tried to get used to the...
Oh, Joe Hollis and Billy have just had contact. It's unfortunate there. Billy just misjudged his braking zone. As look, surprise, surprise.
Start to the race.
Jay's already pulled a 2.2 second gap over Toxic, who isn't on a Honda engine, and Toxic is doing quite well.
Yeah,
Billy's already in third.
I don't know if you really saw that, but the Haas just, I think he got spun or anything right before the corner, and then he just, came sideways back onto the track, had no control over his car, and Lee just got hit off.
Louis looks like he's got damage. I don't know. Louis trying to fight 3 wide into the hairpin. 2 Saubers and a Haas on. There's more contact.
Can't be good, and Nick spins round.
The driving I am seeing today is not the best, but Louis. It's been chaos all around lap 1. There'll be a lot of people pitting.
Marcel goes into the pits and it crashes on the way in.
There's a load of people pitting.
Khan pitting. Many drivers are pitting now.
Basically the whole field.
Oh yeah, from P7 onwards to last place. Everyone's in the pits right now.
As Lewis Marshall said he had to go, and because lag as well, so that's why he's left. Can is not happy with what's gone on. He's I don't believe there should be a restart there. There's no glitch.
Yeah.
We'll only restart for glitches or if there's only a certain number of drivers left.
An unfortunate huge incident, I'd say.
It's always been like that. I said restart in Britain when I retired, and it never happened, and I learnt my lesson from that because I was in the wrong. So there'll be no restart. I don't believe, unless Sondre somehow tells me there will be a restart, then we'll find out. But currently Jay is actually, Toxic is actually gaining on Jay. 2.1 seconds. It was 2.2 earlier, but this is where Jay pulls away on the straight, but Toxic gains in the corners. As Leroy has now left the session, probably he's actually out of the race. I didn't even notice that. So Kevin Harrison and Lee are the only two retirements, and that isn't good for Lee because Lee won last round. So this is a big disappointment. As Joe Hollis is in fourth, settling down, getting relaxed. He's actually replaced me, I believe, in the Renault, so he's currently in fourth.
Unfortunately, the gaps between the cars are not updating.
Yeah, I think it'll update as soon as everything happens, really.
Luke Baker just spun.
Oh, Luke Baker spun. That isn't good for Luke Baker. He needs to come back drive. He needs to stay calm, relax, and just drive.
Oh, he goes into the grass. I think he just retired from the session.
Oh, he's lost it again. That's unfortunate for Luke Baker. I think he still can continue, though. What's he doing?
Yeah, I think it's
his AI there, actually, yeah. Yeah, as Luke Baker has called it quits and retired from the session.
Oh, and look at Bastos. He's trying to go down the inside of Lewis Marshall. I think
Lewis Marshall's no longer here. It's his AI.
So his AI is fighting Bastos.
Lewis should have actually retired.
Went wide.
As Luke Baker's left the session, so it's sorry to see Luke to leave.
Sauber got passed by Nick.
Oh, Sauber and Nick. Unfortunately, most of the... Oh, hang on. It's a virtual safety car. That's what it is. It's a virtual safety car.
I was wondering why Nick is not accelerating properly. But, look at the gap between Toxic and Jay, meanwhile. It's 4.4 seconds, so
I think they're going to keep first and second. I know it's quite early, but I believe they're going to get first and second now. The gap, because they don't only have to make one stop, I believe, on these inters if they can make them last. So, I don't know what Jay is. Jay is very good with his tyre web, but so is Cameron in second place. As Billy's lost a lot of time actually to Cameron, actually 11 seconds. So these two are running away with it right now. As now we are green. Just misses the pits, Jay, but does Cameron come into the pits?
Yeah,
no, he doesn't.
Look at Sauber and Nick.
Sauber and Nick. Sondre's only 3.9 seconds behind. Some inside information from Sondre. He is on the dry set. As Billy is now in the pit, I believe that's wing damage. Well, we'll go back on board with
Sauber.
Sauber and Nick. Nick is a very confident driver. That's a down. Oh, Nick's gone very deep, and Sauber just like overtakes him and says thank you very much and takes P8. Or does he?
Not quite.
Nick comes back.
Nick comes back.
We'll go on
acceleration out of there.
Nice exit. Has he got it? And he's done it.
Goes wide.
He holds P8, and Sondre with this battling is actually losing time. He was actually losing time a tiny bit. Sondre, as actually Sam ran wide a bit there with Alexander Bastos. And Lewis Marshall is still not here, but he's causing problems for Can, because Can needs to get past. As Billy Mossam is in 7th from his pit stop and is right on Marcel's tail. Is he going to go for the big dive? Nope, he buys his time and relaxes, but Marcel is struggling in these conditions. Yeah. Let's look at Billy. Billy's on his inside. This is
side by side through here.
Crucial.
Marcel
and he makes the move. What a move there from Billy, as Cam now finally gets past AI Lewis Marshall.
Look at Marcel. He's struggling so much in these conditions.
Jesus Christ. Look at Jay's gap now. Jay's gap from 3rd place is almost 20 seconds.
Yeah, but look at Branton. Branton started, I don't know, last place, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
maybe.
He's got wing damage though. He has got wing damage.
But he still is quicker than the car ahead. Oh, and Marcel is DNF'd. I bet that was a crash.
We'll go on board with Sondre. As Lewis Marshall is asking for a restart, but there isn't going to be a restart, Lewis, until Sondre has told me, and I don't believe it's fair now since we've done 5 laps. So enough of that, as Jay is now 5 seconds currently in front of.
Yeah, even though Brenton has got damaged, a damaged front wing, he's gaining on that Renault in front of him. 2.2 seconds split the two of them.
As currently Jay is absolutely flying, as Joe Hollis has just got a 3-second time penalty
already.
That is actually the first time I've seen a penalty in the like that in China. I thought it would have been a 2-second.
Bastos is gaming on Samu, who was in the Williams, who was struggling quite a lot at the moment. Bastos closely behind him, but they have equal engines. The question is, who has less downforce with his setup? Oh, if you go on board with Bastos, you can hear how much he's using the engine brake. He's shifting down very, very early for corners.
As Toro Rosso could get us some decent points right now, as Bran is slowly catching up with Joe Hollis, I believe. But Louis Quinlan is also catching up on this battle, only 2.2 seconds off in the Haas. As Wildwood Billy, after his pit stop, is ahead of Nick as well. I believe Nick's made a stop, so we'll look on the stops. Yes, Nick has made a stop. So the top 5 haven't made a pit stop.
Oh, and look at Bastos. He is very closely behind Samu now.
Sorry, Lewis, but the decision's been made.
Oh, and Samu makes a mistake.
Oh, does he? Right, we'll go on board
Bastos. And
here comes Alexander Bastos.
Side by side.
On the inside, as there we go, we can see Sam knew the P.O. isn't lagging Lewis Marshall. So there isn't any lag there, as Bastos is too scared to go for the dive, but he's taking his time, going on the inside.
Very, very close between the two of them. That's
as Nick's
good
just set a fastest lap with a 150.5, I believe. So Nick is actually faster than Jay right now, but Nick is on fresher tyres.
Relaxing in front. But look at Bastos and Sam, still very
Sam's
closely
been very
matched.
tidy actually with his defending. So, but no, there won't be any restart unless there's been a glitch or there's only 5 or 3 drivers left or something silly like that. So, sorry guys, if you guys really want to restart, I don't think it's going to happen. Plus, it's 6 laps being now, so yeah, be unfair if we restart it now.
Can meanwhile joins the party here in the fight for the last points paying position.
Yeah, he does. As we go back to the interview, as now, Alexander Bastos just touches the end of Sam. He has got a connection bar issue, but he isn't lagging on track. So I don't know what the issue was. As Can is still annoyed for what happened at the start. He wants to get through this field and try and catch up with the others. Currently though, the gap from Sam to Sondre is 10.5 seconds. I've got to say, from this amazing performance, Jay has pulled a 21.2 second gap as Bastos tries to make a move on Sam Yu, the Peter. Sam.
Oh, slight contact. Oh, and now look at Can. Can goes down the inside of Bastos, gets past him, and says thank you very much. Great move from Can, who then has to defend from Bastos again. And it seems like Samu is just too quick on the straights.
Alexander Bastos is trying to go for a dive. Is he going to go for it? No, he's braking quite early. Oh, it's Can!
That's a
that
very
was an aggressive
move.
dive, but Alexander Bastos is like, thank you for making that mistake, and I'll snatch up both those positions. What a position advantage Alexander Bastos got then.
A very rookie-like mistake from Can.
And
even
Marcel,
though
mate, if
he
you got any
isn't a
footage,
rookie.
send it to the admins, please, Matt. Sam is still feisty. Sam's making a move into turn 1. Alexander Bastos is giving
that's
him room.
close.
Oh, they're neck and neck. Who's going to get it into turn 1? Is the Williams driver
That's
going to get it?
beautiful racing.
Alexander
It's also
Bastos keeps
close.
it. And Alexander
Half of fair
Bastos
racing,
is
that's what we
going to
want to
take
see.
it.
Can
Shoots it a
comes
bit
back as
wide
well,
and
goes
Can
down
makes the
inside of
move.
Sam.
And now Sam has just lost a lot of time. As currently, this is the only battle on track right now, so we will stick on it. As Sam now makes another aggressive dive. He's basically doing it. Oh, there was a bit of lag spike there. Oh, and there's been contact.
Oh.
Bit of contact, a bit of a lag spike there. I don't understand why Sam's lagging. I think he's in the same region as Paco, and Paco doesn't lag. Oh, there's more contact. As Can is getting really annoyed with Sam. He wants that position.
Sam, though.
Great move from Sam. He's doing amazing driving right now. As Brandon Glover has got a 5-second time penalty for exceeding track limits.
Oh, and Can just got past.
What a move from Can.
What a move by him. Unexpected move.
But is it too late?
One.
As Alexander Bastos pulled away enough where Can is not going to catch him. Currently the gap is 1.7 seconds. Can needs to get his head down if he wants to score points. That's the only point paying position right now. But will Sam actually come back? Because the Mercedes engine in the game for some reason is the fastest. Unfortunately. Which I will admit, from a Merc fan and a Hamilton fan, it should be the Ferraris. But
oh, and down the inside goal,
Sam makes another move as Nick sets another
wants
fast
to do
lap.
the switchback. Great one.
4/10 quicker than Jay. A 150.1 as Can has just got back on Sam, and Sam is struggling on those tyres.
Yeah, but Louis Quinlan, by the way, has caught up a lot of time to Brandon, who is now just 1.2 seconds ahead of the Haas driver. So that is going to be very interesting within the next few laps. But let's just stay with the fight for P11 for a second, because Sam and Can are still going for it. They are neck and neck.
Well, Louis is already in range.
To see Harper fair racing.
Louis is already in range, but I do admit, I believe this is because Brand's got damage on his front wings. Oh, and Sam has lost it. Sam is just lost control, got on the curb, and he's called it a day. He's retired from the session. That is unfortunate from him.
As to continue.
He just lost the rear, touched the gravel, as now Louis Quinlan. If there was DRS, he would be in DRS range.
Nick spun and hit the wall. He has front wing damage.
Oh, and Sondre is happy with that. He's now making a position. Sondre is not at the best race because he qualified 6th. And he's lost 2 positions. He's in 8th currently right now, but Sondre knows every point counts.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Nicholas. I don't think there was any contact, because I don't think he was close to another driver. Just made a mistake on his own, I think, and hit the wall, lost a bit of his front wing, and that will cost him a lot of points today. That could have been, I think it was P6 or P7, but now it's only P9, and he has a damaged front wing, so he might have to pit. But maybe he will stretch out this stint a bit longer, so he only has to make 1 stop in this race. But look at Luke Quinlan, meanwhile. He is catching up to Brandon more and more every single lap.
Louis, I know Louis, he's a very good mate, he is a fighter. He's faster than me, I will admit that. I hate to admit it, but most of the drivers in here are faster than me, so... But no, Felix, you've raced with Louis Quinlan before, he's got good pace and racecraft, hasn't he?
Yeah, he is. He definitely knows how to race. In most cases, he is a very clean and fair driver, but hopefully, obviously in the rain, it can be very annoying being stuck behind another driver, because overtaking is a lot more difficult in the rain. So hopefully he won't lose his mind after, I don't know, 5 to 10 laps being stuck behind Brandon and then making a stupid move. That's not what we want to see. We want to see good racing, and I think Louis and Brandon both know how to race properly, and that's why I hope for a good battle within the next few laps. But like you already said, Brandon has got some front wing damage, which will make it a lot more difficult. But look at that.
He's actually getting Joe Hollis.
Joe Hollis is losing a lot of time. Has he got front wing damage?
I remember in the 2018 season in France, he never enjoyed the inters. He always had a poor setup, and he had a puncher at one point quite early. So if this is coming to him in 2019, it's pretty unfortunate, because he has got the pace, as we saw. in some
will
races
turn
what
out
he did.
in a three-way fight for the podium.
Yeah,
Just
currently.
interrupt you there, sorry.
It's fine, mate, honest. As currently, the gap to the leader from third place is 27.7 seconds. From first to third.
Lap.
Billy's on the fastest lap, so Billy's now starting to push. And Cameron to Jay is 12.7 seconds. So Jay is on a mission currently right now, and that is the slowest car in the game, and he's still being dominant.
Nick in the pits.
Nick has pitted.
Drop out of the points.
He has gone in for ring replacement. That is unfortunate for Nick. He won't be happy with that.
But I think P1 and 2 are basically secured.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a case about who will finish on the final step of the podium. But I gotta say, fair play to Brandon. He has got some major front wing damage. I mean, his whole left end plate is missing, and he's still hanging on to it, and he isn't that slow. I mean, you can see that Louis isn't able to get close enough to really go for a move, but he is still catching up to Joe Hollis. Maybe now Louis is close enough, but let's see.
Is Louis going to go for the big dive? As Sandra used
but he isn't that much quicker on the straights.
I'm surprised by that. I thought the Haas with the Ferrari engine would be faster, so Brian is actually proving me wrong with that Honda engine.
Maybe
is it no longer a GP2 engine?
Setups?
Is it finally got some power? Is he and his teammate are going to get some decent points, actually, second and fourth?
But it's interesting to see if we go on board with Louis Quinlan. It's really, you can really see how Brandon gains and loses time in some certain parts of the track. Obviously in the long swooping corners, Brandon is losing a lot of time through his missing end plate, but in the acceleration zones, Brandon is actually very, very good. Like if he now accelerates properly, he gains quite a lot of time. Yeah, like you can see now, and after the hairpin, after the long back straight as well. Oh, and now Brandon's made a mistake. He goes in deep.
He goes in deep, and Louis tries it, but no acceleration. Oh, but Brandon's really struggling on tyre wear now. So his tyre wear now starting to kick in. Are we going to see now the people who haven't pitted pit? So is the maximum life on the Inter is 10 laps. We'll wait and see as Louis is all over the back of him. Is he going to go for the big dive into this turn? He's going to go for it. Big lunge, and he's.
That would be a great move. Brandon holds it around the outside.
Holds it without wing damage. As Bran is actually exceeding track limits currently right now, but I don't believe he was the car ahead anyway, so you don't have to give the position back. As now Louis has just done him. Louis has shoved him out wide a little bit.
Brandon.
Oh, Bran's actually gone off a bit. That was. I don't know if Louis shoved him out actually. He could have.
No, I think that was no
it's
contact.
still fair racing.
Just tried to hold it.
Yeah, it's still fair racing as I've seen. Bran does have damage to his wing, but now Louis now got to catch Joe Hollis. If he wants third place and get some decent points on the board to win this summer season title, he needs to start pushing. He's currently 2 seconds off Joe Hollis.
Oh, Louis made a mistake.
Yeah, Louis did make a mistake, and Bran's all over him again. But is Bran pitting? No, Bran stays out. That wing damage and tyre wear is still not a problem.
Yeah, I bet he will easily get past Louis after his pit stop when he has a new front wing. And maybe he goes down the inside now. Very late move. Oh, understeery for him.
As Nick has now left the session, I think he lagged out or he's called it quits.
Oh, nearly some contact between the two of them. Oh, now there is contact. But all still fair.
There's no more damage.
Is racing, as you'd say.
Bran's really struggling for grip now. You can see the way his car is, the way it exits. As if I was Bran, I'd pit for a new fresh set of rubber. But actually,
if he
go on, mate, go on.
Yeah, if he pits now and Louis stays out for a few more laps, he might even be able to make up that time he loses to his front wing change again, because the undercut is very powerful, especially on worn inters.
True, but just some information. The person who amazed me when we were doing some practice lobbies the other day was Sondre in Bahrain, where he blew his gearbox. So there could be some people today blowing their gearbox in these conditions because it's more revs on the engine, there's more wear with the gears. So Sondre could wear out his gearbox and blow it up. I'm not saying he will, but he's one of the high possibilities he could blow it. Unfortunately, I hope he doesn't. But if it does come to that, it does come to that. As can you just talk your way through between Louis and Bran while I just tell these lot to, you know.
Yeah, as the gap gets a bit bigger now, Louis obviously with his full front wing is pulling away from Branton, and Branton seems to be struggling quite a lot with this tyre wear. But Joe Hollis, in all that battling between the Haas and the Toro Rosso, as Lewis
Branton
goes into the pits now. Oh, nearly hits the inside wall. That was a close call. But what I wanted to say,
yes,
Joe Hollis was not able to get away from the two drivers who were fighting behind him. So he seems to be struggling with this tyre wear as well, as Toxic was in the pits.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
As is Billy.
Toro sort of done a very good strategy there, double stop, or basically double stop, but miles enough time for Brand to not lose any time. He's going to lose 5 seconds roughly because of the front wing. But Billy's back in the pits. Did Billy have a drive-through? I believe Billy had a drive-through.
Oh, and Brenton loses so much time.
Yeah, Brand will be losing a lot much
front
time.
Wing change.
He's really struggling on the exit though with those fresh tyres already.
Let me quickly check if Billy had a penalty. Nope, seems like he hasn't.
Oh, that was weird why he went in the pits. They were only a few laps old. Oh no, sorry, no, they are fresh tyres. I apologise for that. They are fresh tyres. I didn't notice. But now,
maybe
if
he had some
Cameron,
front wing damage.
Yeah, true. As Cameron wants to already challenge for third place, he's already catching up with Louis Quinlan and Joe Hollis. Actually, was that annoying? Louis Quinlan's actually made a move. Oh, hang on, there's yellow flags. Is that, who is that? Is that Sondre? No, I don't know who that yellow flags were for.
Immediate reaction, that's Sondre.
Yeah.
But look at Cameron now. He is catching up to Joe, who's already lost
Cameron's
second
flying.
place.
Is he going to make the big launch?
On his fresh inters, probably.
Two Nexus drivers battling.
For the dive. Oh, that's
Joe
a late move.
Give him a bit of
slight contact. Very
Joe,
tight turning
Joe
angle.
makes it. If I was Joe, I wouldn't really battle Cameron right now. Oh, actually, Louis Quinlan's in the pits. Let's see where Louis Quinlan comes out on track. Because I don't believe Joe Hollis is actually going to repass. Yeah, he's not. So we'll stay on board with Louis Quinlan right now in the pit stop, unless you see any information of Joe repassing Cameron.
Not so far.
They changed tyres, no front wing change. Let's see where Louis Quinlan's going to come out on track, because this is going to be good for him.
The thing is, Joe should be pitting in my opinion now, because his tyres are really dead at this point, most likely.
So should Jay's actually. Jay should pit soon, but Jay's got a big gap. Jay's gap from second is 37.8 seconds, but that's because he hasn't pitted.
And look at that, Louis is actually ahead of Billy.
So Louis has actually done a very good job of pushing that car. As now Louis is
10 seconds
focused on Joe now.
Brent now.
That's unfortunate, but Sondre is now into the pits. He's now coming out of the pits in clean air since Nick and Lewis Marshall are no longer here, which is unfortunate. But his intent, so Sondre, all he needs to do is push now. He's only 16.6 seconds the gap is between him and Sauber, so he needs to start pushing. As now I will go on board with Jay, as Jay is actually into the pits. Perfect timing. Did he get? He hasn't got any wing damage, so if you could stay on board with Jay, mate, as I stay on board with Cameron, as he did track extend a tiny bit there. No warning, I don't believe.
Yeah, I'm watching Jay now. He comes into the pits, no front wing change at all. He doesn't change the downforce level on his front wing either. Comes out the pits, comfortable gap. So he basically has the win secure.
That's basically. I'm going to go on Joe Hollis now. And Joe Hollis does pit. Joe Hollis does pit. So if you want to stay on board, actually, I'll stay on board with Joe Hollis. You stay on board with Louis Quinlan. Let's see who beats who out of the pits, because I believe Louis will beat him.
So now out of the hairpin comes Louis Quinlan. Then braking for the last corner, down into fourth gear.
Joe's getting new tyres, no wing change, nothing. Joe is now exiting his pit box. He's coming down the pit straight. As Billy has just set a 149.3. As look at Louis. Billy's jumped Joe as well. So Billy and Louis have jumped Joe Hollis. This is good for Joe.
That's what I said. Don't understand. did not understand why Joe waited for long until he came into the pits, because you really could see how much time he lost because of his worn tires. As
Yeah,
Saba
true.
and Can are fighting.
Teammates
It's
are at
turn
war
one.
right now. Can is still furious with what happened at turn one. There was a huge crash. It's the biggest crash I've seen. Turn one, and then the hairpin turn. So, but it's racing in it. So Sauber's losing the rear a tiny bit. It looked like that. As Can is getting really frustrated. He wants that position.
Billy, meanwhile, right behind Louis Quinlan.
As you can still see the debris from that crash. Sandra is intense, 16.1 seconds off Can, but Can, I do believe, will have to pit. There's no way in hell he's going to make those tyres last. So Sandra will get a free position. As Joe Hollis is in 5th, losing, I believe, a bit of time between Billy.
Billy, meanwhile, on the back straight
yes,
now.
He is.
His exit seems to be decent, but Louis just seems to be a bit quicker on the straight. Forget that a bit. He's a lot quicker on the straight than he is, even though Billy has got the slipstream.
And
he is
Billy's in the senior car,
slower.
the Ferrari. Very surprised at that, actually. As I'm actually surprised Billy's actually caught up with Louis, actually, because the gap was 2 seconds out of the pits. So, as Louis made a mistake.
Yeah, Louis has some good pace now. Billy, sorry.
Well, Billy did do a fast lap. Is he going to do another fast lap? If he does another fast lap, that'll explain it. But I don't believe he gained that much. No offense to Billy, but Billy's already on the outside of Louis.
Around the outside.
What a move! Oh no, there's contact!
There's contact!
He is just. Oh, that is very unfortunate. Louis going to be absolutely. I can't say the word, but you know. Man.
Yeah, he's going to be fuming.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Billy did have the outside, but Louis was still there. Louis was still there.
I didn't really see it from that camera view. If Billy just didn't leave enough space, or if just Louis tried to hold it where you couldn't hold it anymore. I'll need to take another look at that. But
there is wing damage on Louis, and Brands, from the advantage of that, has got 5th. So Billy is currently 3rd with no damage.
That there is one laughing person after this fight and one crying person.
Yeah.
Or let's say fuming person rather. I don't think.
We're going to see another Max Verstappen and Esteban Ocon in Brazil, almost having a fight. But no, I think that.
I don't think he will be too nice to Billy if they have a chat later on, as Jake picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Well, I think. I'm not blaming anyone. I think it was a racing incident in my point of view, because Jay was on the outside, it is Inters, and I think Louis' wheel got connected, or his wing got connected with Billy's wheel, and I think it just spun him. But I could be wrong. There could have been contact, big contact, and someone may be at fault. But you'll find that out later on when all the admins have gone through all the penalties and that. So
Jay, meanwhile, set the fastest lap of the race so far.
Cheers.
Was it 49 something, but picked up a 3-second time penalty before. So Billy is now pulling away from Joe Hollis, who is losing time to Brandon at the moment. So I think Brandon will snatch P4 from Joe if he can keep this pace up. But I don't think he has enough pace to then overtake Billy as well, because the gap between Joe and Billy is already around 5 seconds, and it's growing. Yeah,
Billy's I think got 3rd now. Joe's in 4th, not gaining anything right now, as Bran is catching 2/10 currently right now, as Can is in the pits. So Sandre has got 8th
right come now. Up behind Bastos.
Ooh, those two will have another scrap.
Saba meanwhile 1.2 behind Louis Quinlan. Has Louis pitted? I don't think Louis has pitted. No, he hasn't. He's still missing his front left end plate. So that's going to cost him majorly in terms of lap time. And Saba is catching up already, so that's going to hurt his finishing position. But I think that's the right decision, because he has a 20-second gap to Sondre. I don't think Sondre can catch up those 20 seconds to the 2 guys ahead of him.
Well, I think Sondre is in a bit of trouble right now, actually. not being harsh to him or anything, but those tyres, I don't think they're going to make it to the end. They may make it to the end, but Jay did 13 laps. Now, I know Sondre is good with his tyres, but with these conditions right now, and he will be under attack soon from Alexander Bastos, I don't think those tyres are going to last. I think those, as Billy just sets the fastest with 48.9.
If he saves tyres, that he could hold his car on track until the end.
A battle has now just started to form. Is Sauber is gaining now on Louis Quinlan. Currently the gap is 1 second, but that is because Louis has got damage to his front wing. But I've just noticed the fastest lap times are getting a lot down. The fastest lap was 150 earlier, and then it was a 149, and then it was a 148 now from Billy. So, as I'm just going to say in stream, anyone guys who are talking in the chat may get chat warning, so can you guys stop? But as I was saying, Sauber 62 is gaining on Louis Quinlan right now.
As right now we sadly don't have a proper battle going on. We have Bastos catching up to Sondre and Sauber catching up to Louis, but they're not close enough yet to make an actual move. But like you said, it's going to be interesting to see if Sondre can really pull these tyres through to the end, but he's definitely going to be slow at the end of the stint. So Bastos probably will
Sondre's
get a shot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is.
Sauber is right behind Louis Quinlan. Where he's going to go? He's going to go for a dummy. They're in room for a dummy, but he's going on the outside. He's going to get a shocking camera view from both angles. Not the best angle. This reminds me of Germany.
Billy's. Oh, that was a great switchback.
Beautiful from Sauber. Oh, but Louis not finished.
It.
Oh, but Louis has to yield. That wing damage is going to cost him. Oh, hang on. Louis Quinlan is exceeding track limits by a lot. They're trying to do a Ricardo in France. As Louis is going to go for the big dive.
That went wrong for him earlier on.
Oh no!
On the outside.
Oh, there's almost contact. Oh, actually no contact at all. Actually, as Louis loses a bit of grip with the exit, but Louis
great
still
racing
there.
So far.
Sauber has just took the position and holding P6 currently right now. As there is no further battles right now, so we'll stay on board with this. Sondre is...
late move down the inside.
Jesus. Louis has made, as I just saw the DHL sign go like halfway through the Haas car. Love that. I think it was DHL or Pirelli. As Louis Quinlan is lost a lot of time. That wing damage, if I was him, I would pit. He's got a big enough gap between Sondre and try and go for the fastest
just to come
lap.
back to that move from Sauber, that was a picture perfect switchback move that was also close between his front wing and the rear wing of Louis Quinlan's Haas, and just 1 or 2 centimeters between the two of them, but it was nailed perfectly and perfectly executed, sorry. And yeah, that's what gave him the position in the end, because Louis obviously tried to fight back in the first couple of corners on the next lap, but with his front wing damage he couldn't really hold it in those long swooping corners, and that's why Sauber got past. Meanwhile Brandon is really closing up to Joe.
Has Joe got wing damage? Did you see any wing damage on Joe's car? No, there didn't look any damage on his car.
No.
Joe must be really struggling. He's got a lot of VRS though, so he might have been saving his battery. As Alexander Bastos has lagged out of the session, hopefully he can get back, because he actually was gaining on Sondre.
Oh, and Joe has made a mistake. He's in the grass, and Brandon's
Joe Hollis
gone past.
as the bottle. It's done the biggest bottle I've seen today, as he's struggling for grip. I told you.
That's the typical mistake, isn't it? Just going wide, touching the grass on the outside, and then you're pretty much stuck on the grass.
But I did tell you that those tyres, he's not good with inters. I don't know why. It's just he's got no grip for some reason. There's no grip, or his setup's not good, or anything. He struggles on them. So currently, Brand is now P4. As we can say without a doubt, the top 3 is settled. Jay isn't going to win this race by a margin, 20.2 seconds. And then another big gap from Cameron to Billy is 16.8 seconds. He'll take second, and Billy will take third unless he's got a lot of penalties, and Bran will take third. But currently Bran's fourth, with Joe Hollis in fifth, only 7 tenths behind. So Joe Hollis is now starting to push again. So as Joe Hollis fixed what has happened with the car, and basically has gone. He is in ERS mode 3. What is Bran? Bran is in ERS mode 4. So they've both got a lot of ERS. As the biggest winners in position changes in this race has been Billy and Bran, actually. Billy's had the most with 14, and Bran has had the second most, so 11. And third is actually Joe Hollis with 8. But the biggest loser is the person who's out of the race is Lee, then Marcel, and then Can, which is unfortunate.
Sadly, Bastos has lagged out, otherwise we could have seen a good battle between Sondre and him.
He's lost a lot of time now. If he does come back, I don't know if he's done 90% of the race though, so I don't know if it counts.
No, he hasn't. Definitely
so that's
not.
Unfortunate. As Joe Hollis is losing a bit of time now from Bran, so there's something up with Joe with these tyres. Either he's got a problem with the tyre wear, or there's actually a problem with his car. He's trying to manage something or something like that, because I know the gearbox can wear. Now, I did say Sondre would be the most chance, but if now Joe Hollis is over revving the car, which it looks like he's not, he's only going to 11,500 RPM and then changing, which is optimal. But he could have a gearbox problem, so he could be managing that. But yeah, back to a few laps ago. What do you think about that incident between Billy and Louis?
Difficult to judge. I mean, Billy tried to go around the outside, but like I said, from my camera view, you couldn't really see if Billy left not enough space, or if just Louis tried to hold it where there was no point of trying to hold it down the inside. Because if Billy left enough space, that was clearly Louis' fault then, because he just tried to hold the position.
As Joe Hollis is about to make a move on the Bran, doesn't go for the dive, he's patient. This is a new driving style from Joe Hollis. We're not expecting. He was a lot more aggressive in 2018, going for dives, so he's matured a bit, settled down, and is relaxed, focused on the driver ahead. Even with the car having some problems, it looks like he's still staying with Bran.
The thing is, there are drivers who are just very, very good at defending, and there are drivers who are very, very good at attacking.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm a driver who is just focusing on defending, and who is pretty good at defending, I'd say myself. But Brenton is someone like that as well. Brenton isn't the one who makes the best moves, but he is very, very good at placing the car just right on the track, so he makes the driver behind feel like Brenton has the widest car on earth, and he is really doing a good job so far of gaining positions and still defending from people who are a bit quicker behind him. For example, Louis on his first stint.
Yeah,
but
I do
Joe
agree with
is
that.
right behind him still.
Joe Hollis, in my opinion, Joe Hollis is an attacker, not really a defender. So I think Joe Hollis probably later on in the race, when his tyres, when Bran's tyres stop going off. Actually, Joe runs very deep, so he's lost a bit of time there. So his brakes he must be overheating his brakes or something. But currently, I will agree with you on Bran. Bran's very good at defending, but Joe Hollis is also good at attacking. So it's mixed. There is yellow flags in sector 1. Now, is that Bottlehaug? I believe it is. He is doing something insane. He is on medium tyres, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
it stopped raining. I believe. Wow, it has stopped raining. Now, has Sondre made a strategy call?
No, his front wing is completely gone on the left-hand side.
Oh,
so
that's unfortunate.
He made a risky call, but Bottlehaug
As Bottlehaug, he's
proved
called.
why his name is like that.
Oh, but hang on, Bran and Joe are in for the pits.
Yeah,
now,
both in the
they're
pits.
going on mediums. Joe's going on mediums. What is Bran going on? Brandt is going on a set of soft tyres.
Softs. Oh, 5 seconds time penalty.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Brandt's got a 5 second time penalty, so Joe has got a free position because of that. As now Brandt comes out of his pit box. So it is dries then, it looks like.
Yeah, seems like it is.
So now, oh look at Brandt! Brandt's lost it! Ah, the pits has spun the car out in a dangerous location. As now Can will be happy with this. He's currently now P5. As now Louis Quinlan has come in for a set of soft tyres as well, and so is Sauber. A lot of people have pitted for dry tyres, but
I didn't see how Brandt spun though.
He
deadly.
At the pits, I think he put too much throttle on and just lost grip completely.
Jay, meanwhile, has just went straight on.
Yeah, I think Jay's going to make it to the end. Like, he's got a healthy gap of, well, let's just say, from the people who are on dries, 1 minute and 19 seconds. So, yeah, there's no point for him pitting, really, unless he really has to. He's got a big gap.
Toxic is staying, Cameron is staying out as well.
Yep, as Sondre is now back in the pits for that wing damage.
Billy, meanwhile,
Billy stays
out as well.
But he's catching up with AI traffic right now.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Brandt. He could have.
But Sondre is now.
At the end of
Sondre's actually been lapped. He's
been overtaken by the 2 AI drivers.
He's also been lapped though. That's surprising. I'm not used to seeing
won't get points this race, I can tell you. He won't get any points.
He could actually. He's only got what? 4 laps. There's AI. Oh no, he would have put the AI to 100 actually. Yeah, you're right. Oh, but Lewis Marshall's AI is actually holding Billy up. This isn't happy for Billy. Billy needs to push. However, the gap between him and Joe Hollis is quite big, 45 seconds. As Louis Quinlan now gets a 3 second time penalty. Now, will we see Joe Hollis set the fastest lap, or will it be Brandt?
Gotta say the slick runners seem to be struggling quite a lot still.
I do admit with that. Yeah, a lot actually. Joe Hollis has lost a lot of time from Jay. About 5 seconds.
And look at Can. Can is right behind Joe now.
But this is where it's in between. This is where Can make a move and think he's got the position, and then Joe Hollis's tyres light up and then dominate.
And he has got a lot more grip right now. 5 laps to go in this race, and we see a change of position for P4.
Oh yeah, you can still see a bit of the water still spraying out of those tyres. Joe needs to be careful.
And there's big contact.
Yeah, Joe was. That's what I was on about. Joe's got a bit of contact, but that's because of his tyres. The tyres probably are freezing right now. As Brandt is being careful quite much. He's not going a lot on his gearbox. But yeah, I think you're right actually between Sondre, since he's been lapped and there's the gap is 20 seconds. He's lost a lot of time. Why is that? Has he lost control of the car? No. Where is Jay on track actually? Compared to Jay is actually miles ahead. Cameron comes into the pits now. Is he going on softs? Yes, he is. Now this is crucial.
Billy is staying out.
As this cost him P2 because now Sondre's just got another 5 second time penalty. But back to the front, Billy Mossam is still on intermediate tyres. He will be. I think there will be an investigation after the race between him and Louis Quinlan, but we'll wait to see if there's footage. But I've got to give him credit. He was at the back of the grid with a qualifying ban, and he's currently in 2nd place. Astonishing. I think he deserves driver of the day with Jay, I believe there. But Billy, dominance currently right now. There's a gap between him and Toxic and Cameron. There's 10 seconds.
The slicks are now quicker.
The slicks may be quicker now, actually.
I think it's
because Cameron's now catching slowly, but he is catching. Yes, there is only a few laps left. Now, does Jay pit?
Billy could hold it.
Billy could hold it and risk
if he stays out, and his tyres.
But he could risk getting a puncher.
Give up.
Because now it's oh no, it's dries. It is slicks. Enabled. And Jay's just passed the pit as Cameron Young has got a 3 second time penalty. That is crucial. As now Joe Hollis will now start to catch up with Can, who's only just up the road. Excuse me. As there's only a few people still in it. Alexander Bastos' AI still in it. He's in 8th currently. Sauber 62 on sorry, he's on softs. Nick, his AI is on it, and so is Lewis Marshall's. But the guys who are on it still is Billy, Jay and Can, who are driving currently right now.
I'm taking a look at Billy right now because that's going to be interesting to see. He goes
Billy
into the pits. and yeah, there will be no discussion on who will finish second. That will be Cameron then. Jay tries to go to the end. I
So
mean, he could
Cameron's
even...
second place is saved as Billy comes in for a set of soft tyres. The Ferrari mechanics are rushing in to try and hold his third place. He will keep his third place quite by a margin actually. So Billy's third place is basically confirmed. But I've got to say, in this game, the Ferrari looks beautiful in this game.
Yeah, there will be the 90 years logo being patched in.
Yeah, when the patch comes out, which I can't wait for. Let's see what the fastest lap is currently.
I think Jay could even afford to stay out and risk a puncture.
There's yellow flags.
Because he's so far away.
Sandre has retired. Sandre has lost control, I believe, of the car. He has done 90% though, but he won't get any point 10 because he's 12th. So that is unfortunate for Sandre.
No, but remember that.
Oh yeah, the
Lewis
AI.
And
yeah, I don't know if they get swapped.
Nicholas and Bastos are not
Salvador just sets a 48.9 on his set of soft tyres.
Oh, and look at Louis. Louis is right behind Brandon.
Louis Quinlan and Bran back again for another battle.
This time in dry conditions, that could
and
be an advantage for
full
Louis.
Front wings.
And the Haas is quicker than the Toro Rosso.
Oh, geez, look at that lunge he was trying to achieve. Louis must be red under that helmet still after the incident between him and Billy. There's yellows yet again in sector 2, and it's Joe Hollis. Joe Hollis from 5th place has lost control of the car.
Is it? Oh yes, he's lost so many positions.
He has to be careful on his re-entry because as Sauber 6-2 is just going to get through.
Oh, yeah, and Joe just he was at P5 and now he's down to P8 again, and he just screwed it up. He had such a good race, but now everything's gone for him.
As we just got some inside information from Sandre, the reason why he was tired, he doesn't like the rain, and he said he's bad on it as always. So that is unfortunate for you, Sandre.
Did he say he doesn't like the rain or the game?
The rain, not the game. No, he loves the game. As Louis Quinlan is trying to see. Oh, actually, Louis Quinlan, Brand's gone extremely wide for the switchback. He's done a nice position attempt move, what Sauber did to another driver, but actually to Louis Quinlan himself, wasn't it? As Brand goes extremely wide, as Brand got downforce problems because he's running extremely like that is a dangerous re-entry. As now Sauber, he's right behind Brand. Currently the gap is 9/10. The gap for 5th is going to have a battle as Joe Hollis has retired. Why has he retired into the pits? I do not know. Has he crashed into the pits? He will get 9th. Well, actually, he might get 8th if they drop the AI down. But Joe must be furious currently right now. As we will go on to the leader. Jay as
Sauber's right behind Brandon.
Why did Jay pit? It's the last lap. He's not going to get the fastest lap.
Maybe his tyres were about to die. But look at Sauber against Brandon.
Oh yeah, 2/10. And the gap already from Brand to Louis is 2 seconds. As Cameron has just said a 1:44.9. That is the lap to be if you want the extra point for fastest lap.
Oh, look at Sauber. He could go
Sauber
down the inside now.
Oh, it's Billy just shows his dominance 1:42.8. As currently that is 2 seconds faster than Cameron. But I think that's because of the straight line power of the Ferrari. So that is unfortunate there for Cameron.
But
as
let's
Brand
have a look at Sauber.
Extremely wide. Has he got damage? It doesn't
look like he has. Maybe he's just struggling with dry tires so far. The track is still a bit damp, I think. Oh yes, and down the inside goes Sauber.
Sauber runs
into the hairpin.
Nice and tidy, but Brand's going for the switchback.
The switchback.
This reminds me of the battle between me and Paco in F2 last season.
It seems like Brandon is just struggling in dry conditions,
but
we don't know how it's looking in terms of penalties.
Oh, Brand's going on the outside. Is he going to go for the lunge? Round the outside, Billy tried it. He's going for the switchback. I know what he's doing.
Cut to the inside again.
But he touches the curb, which makes him almost spin out. And it is the last lap, so we're going to have to go on board with Jay. the race leader, started first, dominant first place, and he is going to show his dominance in the summer season in a Williams. He is very happy, going to win round 2 China summer season. Great position from Jay.
Congratulations to Jay. Well deserved.
As here comes
Race
Cameron.
win for him.
He gained, how many positions did he gain? He gained 3 positions from his start, and he's going to be happy for the Toro Rosso team to score some points. 2nd place for Cameron, as Billy Mossam will be happy with the Ferrari to get 3rd. I think he will keep 3rd actually, because the gap's quite big from 4th, and will be happy with 3rd place with the extra point, I believe. He did have the fastest lap. Yes, he did, a 142.8. As Cameron
but look at Louis. He's right behind Can, and Can is still on the Inters.
Oh, this reminds me of Brazil, Timo Glock and Lewis Hamilton. Will Louis
is that
catch?
Can? It is, it's Can.
Will Louis catch on Can? Currently the gap is 1 second. This is going to be crucial. Could Louis Quinlan get one more point? Louis right on him. Louis actually could.
So
Louis actually could get 4th place currently. Yeah, Louis got him.
Yeah, Louis
got him.
Yep.
Can's defending. Can's tried his best, but Louis Quinlan is going to be happy now to be behind Billy, but take 4th place after that crash. 4th. Oh no, Can still keeps 4th. Louis Quinlan drops to 6th. And Bran actually gets 5th place.
Moves. Yeah.
Well, that's been a very chaotic race to start.
Penalties really spiced up things.
As I've just got a trophy. Thank you very much, game.
Yeah, same.
As 2 Brits and a Welsh in 2nd place. So Jay wins the 2nd race, as Lee won the 1st race. Cameron is in 2nd.
Overall.
And Billy's in 3rd place right now. So Jay is flying. In a Williams as well. Jay's pace is improved a lot. I've got to give him credit for that. But my driver of the day, I believe, is actually going to be Billy still. He did, even with that instant he had to get through all that field, outstanding drive for him. So what do you think then, for driver of the day then from you?
I think it will be, for me, either Jay or Billy, but I personally would even hand it to Jay, because Jay just dominated the race from start to finish, had no problems at all. And even though he didn't gain many positions, he didn't have any positions to gain after his great qualifying. And you gotta appreciate those drivers who just lead from start to finish, but they can't really shine all too much through overtakes or anything, because they are just so quick. And yeah, Billy, for me, P2 in terms of driver of the day standings. But we saw a good race, I think, especially in those last few corners with Can and Louis, who then lost a lot of positions due to penalties.
But I've got to say, Billy's, in my book, got the driver of the day, got the fastest lap, and got 3rd place, the final spot on the podium. So great drive from Billy, great drive from Jay, great drive from Cameron. It's unfortunate what happened at the start. Big crash. Reminds me actually of the real race when the McLarens, I think, got caught into an incident. My name, I've been Jared Fosbury, tuning in for comms this week. I've been joined with Felix. If you want to say something, Felix, or anything like that.
It was great fun to commentate this race. Was a good race, and really great fun to commentate with you as well. And thanks for tuning in.
Well, there he said it better than me. Well, anyway, boys and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the stream. I think the next round will be on the IRL channel, but I think Sondre or Cameron will make a playlist for the summer season if you guys want to watch. And goodbye for now. Thank you for tuning in.